G'day guys, so this is kind of the Skyblivion showcase they had a couple of days ago, and obviously I'm going to be impressed if they show me 2 minutes of just them staring at a tree. I mean, I'm not a hard dude to impress, especially when it comes to my first Elder Scrolls game, and what I consider to be the best Elder Scrolls game. Of course, people that played Morrowind first are obviously going to disagree, and that's fine because that's nostalgia talking from me and them. Yeah, look, sure, Oblivion does look like a potato, but I like to see when I look back on old games I played as a kid, I see them in crispy HD. Like when I'm looking back at the first Call of Duty, when you're on the boats as the Russians and you swim, like you're going into Berlin. I think it was Berlin because I think that's the city, but whatever. You see Russian soldiers swimming back to their boats, and you see the Russian officers over the boat shooting their soldiers. You know, I see that in crispy HD, but not Oblivion. I see that as the washed-out potato that it was in my memories. And you know, Skyblivion is like that version that you would normally see in your old memories, crispy HD, but won't be a dream. It'll be there in, I'd say, the modern, even though modern's like going on 13 years old in this game, this mod game will come out, and it looks beautiful. I mean, Skyblivion is a project built from passion, and that's always going to triumph at anything that Bethesda does. It's not because Bethesda's bad. Don't get me wrong, they make some of the greatest games and some of the greatest frameworks for modders to use. But at the end of the day, they make those games for money, and that's what it comes down to. That's 100%. And it's not a bad thing. You need to earn a living, and you know. But see, this will always triumph at that because this is a project made out of sheer and absolute passion. There's no money involved. There's no nothing involved but the will to do it, and that will always win over anything to do with money. I mean, look at that view, man. That was like, this is made by modders, dude. This is crazy good. You know, like, beautiful. And I see myself, yeah, I've been playing Skyrim since I was 17 years old. 17. I wasn't even a legal adult yet. And I'm cracking 30 this year. And I'll be 31 or 32 when this game, this mod, calling it a game, comes out. And I literally see myself being one of those old dudes that are still on YouTube at like 43 years old, playing Skyblivion, even though there's probably Elder Scrolls. That's actually kind of a joke, but Elder Scrolls 6 isn't even out yet. But, you know, like, I could see myself playing Skyblivion for just as long as Skyrim. You know, but the thing about it is, like, I make this YouTube series basically telling Skyrim's story from a different perspective that you naturally would anywhere else. Like, you know, it's played by multiple characters, or different guild characters. It just makes more sense like it was written in a book. And I don't think I'll be able to do that for Skyblivion at least 2 or 3 years after it's come out, because I don't remember enough. I mean, it's still my favourite game because of its place, its lore, its story, and of course it's awakening me to the Elder Scrolls fantasy. But I think I only had like 3 years of it, and most of that was on the PlayStation. That's how I found the Elder Scrolls. That's how I found Bethesda. And a little side note, I'm kind of glad that Starfield's coming over to the PlayStation, because that means more people will be able to play it and discover it on the PlayStation, and eventually, like myself, find their way to the PC gaming just to mod Skyrim. Or mod the next Elder Scrolls game, or whatever hell. And, like, yeah, I had nowhere near enough time for this game that I obviously have for Skyrim. And I know Skyrim inside and out, you know, like, it's pretty much a domestic violence relationship at the moment. I know its quest, I know what suits what, and that's why I like to believe that I make some pretty good stories, because I play certain characters that a lot of those stories mold with. You can't play Skyrim as the one character and do everything and make it make sense or feel right. So I kind of know what stories I want to take as a certain character because I've played it for so long. I know what their stories are. I know what story suits what character, like what mage quest I should take my mage, or mercenary quest I should take for my mercenary. And yeah, no doubt Oblivion's got a lot of these too. A lot of these. And I've even thought about what happens when I get Skyblivion. I'm gonna obviously do stories, but I'll need some time to, like, you know, make it a thing. Cecilia, who's one of my characters in my story, is a vampire. She was around this time. And I want to introduce her as a mortal, as just like this young Imperial soldier, long before, you know, she's in Skyrim. But like, how am I gonna like, how will I do all those stories? I definitely could do like the guild quest again, where they're done by different characters. That would be easy enough. Like how to combine them all, or how, I don't know. But that's a while away. But again, this game was my first awakening to the Elder Scrolls, and I only had probably 3 or so years with it, if that. And I've always had a story cocked it up where it's like, where I become like I start from scum and I end up being like the hero, the Holy Crusader, or something like that. So I love stories, and I think Oblivion had the best story when it came down to it. With Skyrim, it's morely, you know, you eventually go fight a dragon, and then whenever you fast travel, these big annoying flying fucking fire-breathing lizards decide to spawn in, and then all these moronic, you know, townspeople in their clothing with an iron dagger decide, oh, there's an ancient dragon that used to enslave my people of ancient mythical legend. Let's fucking attack it! And all that sort of stuff. Yeah, its questing, its story implementation, and its gravity to the world was sheer annoyance, more like I want to get rid of the dragons because they were annoying, not because they were scary. In Oblivion, that game was fucking scary, man. I mean, look how beautiful this looks. Like, the more you did the quest, the more gates started opening up. The more random people in towners decided they wanted to end you. You know? I think there was one called something God Hater, and she was in Coral. I remember her, because she hated the gods. I think this actually is Coral. She hated the gods, and she's like a Nord inside of the inn who just walks around blasting the gods. I'm pretty sure she's a mythic, because she seems like it. But one of my funniest ones was actually when I went to the inn to have a laugh with my mates. She was a dark elven owner of the inn on the Anvil docks, and you go in there and she normally goes, no, only seamen are allowed on these beds, and it cracks you up laughing until you do a certain quest, and then she tries to fucking neck you because she's actually a Mythic Dawn agent and stuff like that. And people that you've walked past in many different hours and many different times, and they just, hey, how you doing? How you been? And all of a sudden they're now, die, betrayer! And it's just like, it's crazy because, like I said, man, more gates start to open up, and I wonder what they're going to do with these gates. Are they going to have like infinite hordes of Daedra coming out? Like, you know, you kill 2, then 2 more spawn, and until you like get into the gate? That'd be sick. But I don't know, man. Its story just felt like it was getting worse and worse. I've talked about this in many different videos that I've done, but I remember a time I was just out in the woods and went to this abandoned house, and it was packed up and it was ready to go. Like, you know, someone was moving, they'd put all their shit in these crates, you know, chuck them on a carriage and move to somewhere else. I guess they never got to it. They probably died, they probably didn't have the time or the money. And I went inside and just looked around, pretty boring, nothing you'd ever remember, right? Like, just another place, just you lose the memory banks of. It's nowhere near important. And then I walked outside and I turned around where the house was, and there was a fucking Oblivion gate, and it scared the shit out of me. Like, I'm like 13, 14, that was spooky. That was like when I woke up as a vampire all of a sudden. I thought there was like a vampire hiding inside the Wayland's Briary. But yeah, dude, it was some scary like shit, and that's, I mean, I'm always gonna remember, like, Oblivion made you feel panicked, like you had to get it done, because if you didn't, the world was going to end. And you can even fail missions in Oblivion. Like, I'm pretty sure you could fail the Battle of Bruma. I'm not sure anything happened, but you could actually fail a quest. And Oblivion's just got so many memories. Obviously got so many memories of Skyrim, and I'll always love Skyrim because of the modding freedom I'm able. And like, it's been around for 13 years. So the mods keep getting better because the modders don't move on to new games. And you know, Fallout 4's come out, Starfield's come out, but they aren't like Skyrim. They aren't like the Elder Scrolls. You know, you give Starfield 10, 15 years with a proper modding team that are into serious fantasy, into Star Wars, and they'll turn that game into Star Wars. I'm not even joking you. A team that really loves Star Wars, like Galactic Contentions of the game Squad. It turns Squad into a Star Wars game, into the Clone Wars. And you'll probably have that in 10 or so years. You'll have a lot of Clone Wars material in Starfield, but I don't know how you go around building like an actual Star Wars sim. That would be nuts. The tremendous amount of work for planets. You could already use what's already made there for you. You know, that wouldn't be too hard. But the cities, the alien races, the vehicles, the weapons. Oh man, like, Oh, fuck that. But yeah, and obviously, like, look where we are right now. We're in Skyblivion, around 13, going on 13 years in the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. These guys are still going strong because there hasn't been a game to really kind of pull the modders out that have been making this. Plenty of people have come and gone, of course, and that's for any modding project. You'll have someone that did 15 models for the project around 2013, and then they never came back. But they might play this game if they're still alive, and they'll come past that object they made for it long ago. And this is the beauty of these mods. Like I said, they're made by passion. They'll come out when they're ready, and they'll come out great. I mean, it's like Beyond Skyrim, for example. This place is actually beautiful, man. This is what I mean by passion. Like, someone thought this through, putting a little island with a beautiful tree in the middle of it, and then they talk about in the scene, Oblivion gate will open up there in the water, and kind of destroy or sup out the water and tear the island, tear the tree in half, and it will look like it'll go from being absolutely gorgeous to absolutely destroyed. So you only get this in a certain part of the game before you do certain quests, and then when you come back, even after the game's done, you'll find a destroyed Oblivion gate, and that little piece of paradise nuked. Like Beyond Skyrim, I don't imagine I'm going to need 150 mods. I'm already probably at 180 mods for my Skyrim plugin limit, and I think the max is 255. I don't imagine if a mod like Beyond Skyrim comes out, I'm going to need that many mods, because it's going to be a passion project for modders. It's going to have everything we pretty much want. I don't think that's really things we'll want is probably house mods or things like that. We've got everything we need in Skyrim. Armor mods, weapon mods. We won't need mods unless they're texture replaces, mesh replaces, or a house mod. That's pretty much all we'll probably go for in places like Beyond Skyrim. Everything there is going to be created by people with the passion in their hearts to make this content. And this is why this stuff will always, and I mean always, win over anything that's done by Bethesda. And don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on Bethesda. I'll definitely shit on some crappy storytelling here and there, but they do make these games, and it is for money. But they do give us the modding tools for free to create things like this and keep the game alive. And it doesn't come without its cost, the Creation Club. People are whinging about that. I mean, they give us these tools for free, and we make awesome mods. And it works for them because it keeps their games alive. I mean, there are still people today in Skyrim that are new to it. I'm seeing people on Discords going, I only got Skyrim last year, and they're new to playing it. And no doubt they were probably kids when it came out, 2 or 3 years old, and they heard about it from their brothers or their friends or their fathers when they were playing it, and they're brand new to it. I mean, people are still playing it today, that are playing it from the very beginning of its release, like myself, but there are still people getting it brand new that have never touched it before, that have only heard about it. What kind of game in the world today that's a single player game would you hear having that sort of resurgence of players that have been playing it for so long, and that brings in brand new players that either never knew it existed or heard about it since they were children? The only reason these mods are alive, the only reason these games are alive is because of mods. And those mods the tools are provided by Bethesda. Yes, you can make mods of the test edit and stuff like that, but they're not great mods. They're all right, but they're nothing compared to what you can do with the creation kit. I'm all fine with the Creation Club because again, you get modders to make you free content, keep the game alive, and you can put some mods out and earn a bit more money on the side. It's not a bad plan. And I just think people whinge way too much when it comes to paid mods. You have the choice to either buy it or don't. There's no need to have a big cry about it. But we get things like this for free. We get things like Skyblivion for free. All you have to do is fucking wait. That's all you gotta do. Nothing else, nothing more. And you'll get a full remake of a game in crispy HD. I don't know. By the looks of this, Beyond Skyrim's going on the more they're releasing their textures to be better than Bethesda ones, but not super HD, where Skyblivion, if you look at their weapons and their armors, and especially their unique standalone weapons, that shit looks like it was modeled by the gods. It looks like crispy, modded, weapons, not like they're trying to re-envision a world, made by Bethesda. But it doesn't matter. This will never come to consoles, unless, of course, well, it might. I don't think it will, because it requires SKSC. And look, it'd be nice if Bethesda could work out the team here and put this on the Creation Club as sort of like, and kind of work a way around having it compatible for consoles. But that would take some time and some effort, and I don't know, because this will require SKSC, 100%. But I don't know if it's even possible to try and for Bethesda to use their source code to actually have this work on Skyrim for the consoles. It doesn't matter. Apparently there's like remakes in the works, and those remakes, they're not going to slow the Skyblivion down if they're real. Those remakes are going to be good because they're going to be also for console users, and hopefully those remasters don't look like their old washed-out potato way, because if it did, it would already be out by now. I think they're actually remaking the way it looks, which it could look very good. And that'd be good for console players, because even myself, I've never played Morrowind, because the game's play is so much different. It's like it reminds me of Star Wars: Old Republic, where like you swing your lightsaber, but it's like a percentage chance of hitting the target, depending on your like certain stats you had and stuff, something like that. With modern day gaming, you swing your blade close up to their face, you'll always hit them. It's it's the distance that you are swinging and the distance they are of range, or to your blade. You're always going to hit unless you're too far away. And Morrowind also, it's a very old. It's one of it's their first big game. It's their first console game. It didn't come out for the consoles at all until Xbox actually helped them, and that's why they're buddies with Xbox, and that's why now Xbox owns them, because Xbox helped them with the memory issues they were having to get it on the console, and then they got it on the console, they got it on the Xbox, and the next game was Oblivion, which was an entirely new sort of style of Bethesda games, which had voice acting, not much of it, like there was a lot of it, but there wasn't that many voice actors, and it was their first push into the PC, the PlayStation market. It came out with, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it came out first, I don't remember, because I didn't play it at release, but I'm pretty sure the PlayStation version came with the Knights of the Nine, so I don't think it came out straight away. I think it came out on Xbox and PC first, and then later on the PlayStation with the Knights of the Nine DLC. So I heard, but I discovered it a few years after it came out because I played Fallout 3 first. But look how beautiful this. Mate, look, this is gorgeous. This is Cyrodiil, man. This feels like even Elder Scrolls Online when you're running around out in the open in the like the war area, and it just feels like Cyrodiil. It's colourful. Its biomes are like flat and vast and colourful, and that's what I love about it. I'm kind of glad they didn't take the old Elder Scrolls lore, where it's like Cyrodiil was a jungle. But I've seen that in a previous video of like Elder Scrolls Online coming out. With Skingrad, I think this is where they are. That's their new chapter, and they're going to be putting jungles in because there's new Daedric Prince. And maybe, I don't know. I don't want to get into that because they might be rewriting lore or trying to work the old lore with the new lore that Bethesda added and stuff like that. But I think this is actually Skingrad by the looks of it. It's very colourful, very lots of red trees, and I haven't really checked the flag out yet. Oh yeah, this is definitely Skingrad. Now I've got a memory here, man. The very first time in my Elder Scrolls like playthroughs, I found a farm at the back of Kvatch that was empty, and there was no one there. I used to come to the stables all the time, and this is the Shawley Brother Wine Vineyard. And I used to go into that stable right there and steal a horse and take it to this farm, because the horse never went back to the farm. Like, it didn't go back to its original location. I'd come in there, I'd steal the horse, and I'd take it back to my farm because it would stay in the stables. And I don't know if this farm was called, but some people might know what it is. I made it my player home because it was free and no one lived there. I didn't have to kill anybody. It was a farm, I think it was behind Kvatch, and it was like, you had to go find the owner. It was like a quest, and you find the owner in a cave that was killed by like a, what do you call them? I think it might have been a lightning astronaut, or I don't know, I think it was, but yeah, he was dead, and there was a little farm outside, there's a stable, there's a farmhouse, and then like eventually down the road there's an Oblivion gate that opens up, and that was like my play home. I love it, and I'm definitely going to go looking for that as soon as Oblivion comes out, because that will be a nice little place to retreat away from. Dude, look at that waterfall, man. Like, it just goes under the walkway of the Iliad walkway. That is gorgeous. Like, this, man, this is a work of art. This is a good 10 plus years, going on 11 I think for them, of work. I mean, what are they going to do when it's all done? When they eventually finish off the DLC, what are they going to do? Are they going to like create like a a Beyond Cyrodiil? Like take us back into Skyrim during the third era? That'd be interesting. Like, man, honestly, I could definitely see someone doing that. I could 100% see someone doing that, starting a new team, spending like another 6 or 7 years changing Skyrim's land space, removing towns that don't exist yet, and putting in new ones, and having Oblivion gates open up and brand new. That'd be crazy. Like the level of modding this will create is nuts. And then, well, dude, it's hard to describe. I've always thinking like, oh damn, I just forgot what I was about to say. I remember now. So my dreams for Skyblivion is to do the stories I do for Skyrim with Oblivion. Find out how I can make a story work for multiple different characters, so it's not written by the, played by the one character that becomes a Mage's Guild master, the warrior of the Fighters Guild, the sneaky thief, or the Grey Fox, and then the listener of the Dark Brotherhood. I want to try and make it seem a bit more like a book, like a visual playing book, and where it makes a bit more sense from different characters. Like the main character, I don't know how to go about that, because you start off in prison, right? And that's how the game starts. You meet Uriel Septim. But at the same time, I want my character to become the Holy Crusader. When he goes through the gates of Kvatch. Do I start that? Do I feel a need to do this quest for the Emperor that died and gave me freedom? And give the amulet and disappear? I might have to give the amulet to Joffrey and then go, nah, I'm out of here, I'll catch you later. See you later. And then eventually go on my own quest to become go into Anvil, and then, find that these people have been murdered by this Daedra, and you go on a quest to become the Holy Crusader, and then eventually you come back, about a month or so later, as the Holy Crusader fighting the armies of Oblivion, blah blah blah. But there's a couple of things I'd really want before that, and these are great mods that no doubt will come out. It's similar to a mod called Helgen Reborn, to where it's an alternate start mod, but you can go to Helgen before it's destroyed. There's shops, there's the inn, there's all sorts of things, and you talk to the statue of a dragon or something. You go to sleep. When you wake up, the execution mob rocks up, and the game starts. But you don't start the game with your head on the chopping block. You start the game pretty much on the railings of the inn of as a traveller. And I don't know, I don't want that, because I want the game to start as per usual when you're in prison. You can just start the game at the very end of the prison, so you skip all the bullshit. But I kind of want to see a mod. Obviously Kvatch Rebuilt is going to be a mod that will come back. But I want to see a mod pretty much that will have Kvatch alive and well, and the game hasn't officially started yet, until maybe you do an action which ends you up in jail. And I thought for that, because the main character, I thought of a man that was 26, 27, around my age, that had a family, and his family were killed, and he became a mercenary after that, and a drunkard pretty much, go to the inn, get on the piss, to forget all his troubles. His daughter and his son and his wife were killed and murdered by bandits and that sort of shit. And some young, imperial noble was shit stirring him up in the Talos district, and really getting on his nerve, and he got too close and made some personal attack, and the character just loses it and punches his head into a pulp. And because of who he was, he ends up in the imperial prison, in the dark, in the back end, in the you're dead pretty much area. Before the game starts, and you get out, and you kind of realise the second chance that you've got in front of you, and you do what you deliver this amulet, you do what you promised to do, and then you go on your way. But you kind of reset back into your old ways until you come across a sort of calling, the priest in Anvil getting slaughtered by Daedra. And it turns into a path from this, this father, this family man, this mercenary, this drunkard, this murderer, to then becoming a holy knight, and the hero of the game, because it sounds much better when the Holy Crusader is the one fighting the armies of Oblivion. But again, I'd really love to see a mod where it's the game hasn't started yet. You can earn your way in prison, but you can properly earn your way in jail, and then have the game start. But you go to Kvatch before it's burnt down. There's new people there that weren't in the base game because they're not dead yet, and there's the old people that you find in the encampment that are still there living their lives, being happy chappies because nothing's happened yet. and you get to go to the arena and fight in the arena and meet an entirely new city. Like, you know, make the city big and beautiful, where it's like, it feels like it's full of so many different people, and you only get to meet like 2% of them, because only 2 or 3% of them are alive. And you get to meet Martin Septim, but he doesn't really talk about much unless it's about, like, you know, Agatosh. Was it Agatosh? I think it was Agatosh and Kvatch. That's the chapel of Agatosh. And, like, you know, you can't really talk to him about much unless, of course, it's just basic dialogue, like priest dialogue, or asking about Kvatch or asking about Agatosh and stuff like that, because he has no idea who he is, and your character might have no idea who he is and stuff like that. But that'd be awesome. It feels like we're in Leyland, or like the southern sort of Black Marsh, Morrowind border, because it's very murky. But again, those are mods that I'd love to see. I'd really love to see mods like that in the Elder Scrolls Skyblivion. That would be awesome. A sort of alternate start to where you put yourself in jail and start the game, but also in the background, the Oblivion gates haven't opened up, and Mythic Dawn haven't declared themselves, and maybe even, you know, you see Uriel Septim walking around the White Gold Palace with his, you know, palace guards, and maybe even his sons, because I think he had like 5 or so sons, and Uriel's like in his like 70s or so his sons have probably been in their 50s, and they probably have kids of their own. I don't know they didn't want children to that. Maybe he's got grandchildren, like, you know, young princes that are just like out there slaying it, because, you know, they're Septim bloodline. Every, you know, young lass is gonna want to drop a panties to become part of the dynasty. But that'd be awesome. Going to the Imperial City and meeting the princes and the grand princes and all that sort of stuff. Before all the shit hits the fan, getting to meet Oblivion before Oblivion. You know, get to go to the Elder Scrolls Cyrodiil before it becomes Elder Scrolls Oblivion and stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool. But yeah, you'd probably have to lock up a lot of quests with that, like certain quests that involve Oblivion Gates or Daedra or things like that. And stop a lot of dialogue from Oblivion Gates. I don't even know if NPCs in that game had that. But anyway, I think I've talked for way too long already. I'm actually surprised I managed to talk about this sort of stuff for this long. But I'm just going to basically put the sound back on. You can listen to the brilliance of Rebel Eyes, the sort of head lead of Skyblivion. The guy's been around since the start. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed my bickering, and hopefully you can enjoy his now. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this, and yeah, go check out their actual original channel and subscribe, because it'll help them out and get more people and all that sort of good stuff. Anyway, see you later. Have a good one.
Like a gameplay segment to show off Skyblivion, and I started out at the Imperial Sewers, and I think at that time the only thing in that area that was replaced with new assets were a few bushes and like a sack, the sacks that contain a little bit of loot. Everything else was still ported, and now if I go to that area, there's nothing anymore that is from the original Oblivion. Like, all the assets have been remade since then. Which, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but if you've been here for 10 years and you've seen how slowly the project has developed in some years and how much we struggled to get to where we are now, thinking back about that point in time, it is quite a trip. It is really exceptional, and it's honestly, it's extraordinary, and pretty much, like, I have to be honest, in 2013, I didn't think that Skyblivion would be what it is now. I thought the best we could do was port everything from Oblivion and leave it at that, which clearly, like, even that was way more complicated than we ever thought it would be. But to be where we are now at this point, and to be so close to like a releasable game, and as you can see, like, we're playing through and we're walking through the area. There's no more floating forests. There's no more purple hills. People are mostly clothed, which again doesn't sound like a big deal, but trust me, it is. It's a bit unreal.
We should probably start doing one of the quests. We've only got 55 minutes left.
Oh shoot! All right, well, I'll sprint. We're close to Leyland now, and then we'll go right over to Umbra, or to Bruma, as well as I kind of intended for this anyway, but I know we only have a 2-hour segment for this stream. What I was thinking we will do is we're gonna be like when our segment is ended, we're gonna raid the chat. Oh no, not Chad. I have to raid someone else. I forgot who it is. C3. I
Fallout
have to
London,
raid.
I believe.
Yeah. So I'll raid them on Twitch. And on YouTube we can just keep it going for a little bit longer. Because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about and we might want to show off as well. Because I honestly don't know if 45 minutes is going to be enough, but we'll see. Starting random WE event, starting a road event. Do you know what that is?
And actually, another decent segue there is you can see the armor we've got at the moment for the Imperial Legion is by Nordwar UA.
Yeah.
And it is fantastic armor, but we are making our own version, and I do believe the developer making that is currently live on Twitch.
He is, yeah.
Working on it as we speak.
Unplayable, by the way. This game.
I fixed those when we worked on the Mazoga video. Why are they back?
Did you submit your changes?
No, the plugin I made for the Mazoga video is chaotic, to say the least.
Right.
I probably should have mentioned that to someone.
Alright, entering Leyland through the back entrance.
I see someone tagged me. Any news about dynamic conversations between NPCs? Funnily enough, that is something that is trickier to implement in Skyrim than you would think, considering how easily it was done in Oblivion. I'm not the one working on it, though. You'd have to talk to... I believe the last person looking into it was Chad Kai, our quest lead. I could be wrong, though. But yeah, currently they don't really function in the build. But we do have something that Oblivion didn't have, or well, something Oblivion had accounted for but didn't actually use is idle dialogue from a lot of NPCs. You will hear NPCs say stuff in Skyblivion that I've got thousands of hours in Oblivion, and I've never heard them say, you know, like guards will say things like, I'm so hungry I could eat a Bosma, or random comments like that, things that they just never said in Oblivion, that because of Skyrim's idle dialogue system you can hear now.
I've finally made my way to Leyland, by the way. Wait, let me prepare properly, because I know this part already. Let me don my proper attire, fit for a party.
I think I need something to drink. That was the strangest. Hold on. There's a dinner party here tonight. No one gets into the room until it's prepared. And no one gets in the room even after it's prepared, unless they're on the list. And even if they're on the list, they'd better be dressed for it. This is important to the Countess, and no one is going to muck it up. Got it?
So this is one of those quests that, or like areas that I'm quite looking forward to, because right now, I have to be honest, like the quest is a bit janky. The castle, it's in pretty rough shape. It needs a lot of work. Also, I need to wait, because the party starts after 6 p.m. So that's my bad. So let's wait until, I don't know, 7, I guess. Doesn't seem like, what's her name, Jer? Alessia.
Oh, you might have to wait one more hour. There's a weird bug at the moment with AI won't update its position until you wait 1 hour. Oh.
It updated, she moved slightly.
She should be at her dinner party. Oh.
Maybe my natural lives, because something's gonna happen that, well. Everyone's naked, including us.
Leg it.
Oh, damn it! I didn't get all the party guests. Well, that's that's okay. Mission failed successfully. I got the count. That's all that matters. All right. Luckily, there's no nav mesh yet, so the guards are not following me, and we can go to Bruma for our next quest.
Which I guess we're doing naked now.
Yeah, there's no other choice. Should I just go straight to Bruma, or maybe walk from Chainlaw over to the Bruma area? What do you think?
How long have we? It's a pretty short quest. I think you can afford to walk from Chadenhall.
Where am I?
Chadenhall is still currently work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah. As you see a guard flopping from the air, yeah. This is the city I'm currently working on. I've locked myself in
very well.
I'm quite excited about it. I've been enjoying working on the area. I'm gonna go in like a 1 week break, and then I'll be back. It's gonna be good. Also, yeah, I'm still naked. I'm seeing a lot of compression on the stream because of the foggy darkness.
Fog.
Yeah. Talking about like Roy, who just raided us. Roy actually worked on the iron armor, which is unironically maybe one of my favorite armors in the game, because it looks so like bulky and cheap, but still like sturdy and usable. Like I love the way it looks. It's really good. I kind of forgot what kind of state I left this area in. But I mean, this is exactly why these streams are cool, you know, because this is what game development is. This area of the map is completely broken and is being put together at the moment. I've had the vision for a windmill overlooking Chainlaw for so long. I'm so happy I could finally do it. I also need to put a marker at Bruma, otherwise I don't know where I'm gonna go.
And I think the area around Chadenhall is one of the last bits of landscaping we have to do, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Because is D done with the Nibbin Valley Basin?
Close to, but I think he said he was kind of like fed up with it.
He's taking a break.
Yeah, so I was thinking I'll do maybe the rest of the Nibbin so that he can focus on the 3D architecture and then the Deadlands as well, because I think I'll have a lot more fun actually working on those areas, and then I can kind of like I feel like as soon as I get a good start on just like the forest wilderness, I can get through this area pretty quickly.
I noticed you just happened to walk past Desolate Mine.
Yeah.
One of those kind of a good example of what you were talking about before with Cloudtop and how you realise it's a quest location and it probably needs a bit more flair. Actually had a very similar thing with Ryan, one of our interior QA lead. He was talking to me about like the importance of quest locations, and specifically like we're working on the Fighters Guild. He's working on the Fighters Guild ones at the moment.
And then of course when I got too close, he stopped using it, but I got him in the end. So sorry for the interruption. Just wanted to let people know I was just like blindly staring at the guy instead of actually doing anything.
I should go through. There were a couple donations, including a massive one from Tom V, who donated €100 on YouTube.
It's like $110 or something.
I believe there was another $10 donation from a random Italian in Scotland.
A random? Is that a description of the person, or is that his name?
I assume it's both, but it was their YouTube name.
Okay.
It'd be quite funny if they didn't fit that description.
I'd appreciate it even more if that's the case.
I'll check. I haven't seen if there's any questions attached to any of the new donations. We also have Henstrom Menzik with $10, Dorgus with $10, Bok 120 with $10, and possibly Ayla with 25. I think I already mentioned Ayla.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you, everyone. How much are we in total at the moment?
I'm still not sure where people are seeing the fundraiser amount on the YouTube channel, but on Tiltify we're at $1,195.
Wow, that's great. Also, wait, let me check. I think we have stars here. Come on. Damn it! Am I tripping? Have they been taken out of the game somehow?
They could have been overwritten. I wasn't aware that we had stars put in though.
Okay.
But I also wasn't aware that they were missing, so shows that I didn't notice that.
What the fuck? Did you see that goofy deer? That's great.
Oh, it's neck?
Yeah.
Oh god.
I don't think he believed his eyes that because I walked up to him slowly, draw my sword. You know, I think he was seeing his life flash before his eyes, and then he got lucky, and I kept moving, kept walking.
Oh, someone just said in the YouTube chat, $1,654 total.
1600s, nice. I'm getting snow blindness from this place.
Vibrant, to say the least. But this is a place where we can show off the, you know, we didn't necessarily have to create all the assets in this project. You know, we were able to utilize quite a lot of stuff from Skyrim for the Bruma.
Yeah.
Is it the Valus Mountains?
The Gerald's Mountains.
Gerald,
and then
sorry,
the Valus is to the right. It's over there.
You know, like this is this could be a location in Skyrim, honestly, like
yeah, currently
just
what's
looking
not
at
doing it any favors though is because of the very old distant terrain. Like it looks so drab and gray. But as you can see, like when you get close to like the new areas, like the new design, like it's nice and white and snowy. So that's still something that we need to generate LOD to like properly show off the area, because we have like satellite maps made every once in a while to show like internally the progress of the map, and you can see that the most recent map compared to the one before, like the Gerald Mountains, the area we're in now, was just like very depressing and gray, and now it's, you know, beautiful, pristine, and mostly like covered in white snow, which is looking very nice. Bromora, I saw with a $10 donation. Thank you very much. Yeah, I just flopped down.
Have there been any happy accidents in development? Something that just came together without fully meaning to?
I think you described like the average day of working on the project, really. Like, I feel like in level design that happens every time you work on a location. You go in with a certain idea, or maybe you go in with, oh, I'm gonna make something just really generic and quick, and then out of nowhere, you know, inspiration hits, and you know, one happy little accident later, you've made like a very cool dungeon. I really hope to see more of those happy little accidents with quests on the remaster, for instance. I think that's gonna be very cool. Remind me, what's the correct order for me to do this in? Am I gonna go to the count first?
No.
Or
look, no, you say this every time. The count isn't involved in this quest at all.
Well, you can
go to the,
no, you listen.
go to the murder house.
But you can go to the count ask about the topic, and then she will send you to the murder house.
Will she?
Yeah.
I worked on this quest and I don't remember that.
Well, I play tested it, and I remember I remember the sequence.
I think
What?
anyone in the city will.
Oh.
Pay your bounty or serve your sentence. Your choice. But your stolen goods are
You should just be able. What's your bounty actually?